And start streaming.
We live.
We should be live now. Yes.
And we're live. How's it going, man?
Yeah, good. Welcome.
Welcome everybody to the Source Wall issue 79 or rather. I'm your boy, the Outlaw Red Hood. This your boy, We Read Comics Too, and your girl, the Phantom Specialist, is out doing Phantom special things. So we're just gonna hold down the fort until she gets back. So everybody, welcome. We've got some dope shit for you today.
Yeah,
dope shit to talk about.
Some good stuff.
Just can't wait. Yeah.
Speaking of good stuff, what do you think of that Batmobile?
So first of all, I love that it looks like an Impala, like an American muscle car.
Yeah.
I love American muscle cars. If I could have one, someday I'll have my own Mustang.
Yeah.
But it looks dope. It looks also more true to form. Like, I was never a fan of the tank.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that. But I didn't like that.
Batman v Superman and the Nolan movies. I'm like,
it didn't make sense, man.
No, because Batman's supposed to be going through the night, stealthy and all ninja-like.
Yeah.
But then he gets in his car and just tears through the city, like crushing buildings with his tank. It made no sense.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. It was good that the bike came out of it.
Yeah, the bike was cool. Then he had that crappy plane.
Yeah, I like the plane.
You like the plane?
There wasn't a lot of the plane in the film, in my opinion.
It didn't look like it. It didn't look like a wing or a bat. It was just this. Now look at that mirror. That's what the plane should look like.
Yeah.
That's what the plane should look like. Yeah, I didn't like it. But this car, I think this car looks dope.
Yeah.
And in terms of him being like a ninja, he could just be driving through traffic and you kind of just have to double take.
Yeah.
And be like, wait, was that the Batmobile? And someone could be like, nah, that was just like a Mustang or someone's custom made.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know until you know.
Yeah.
I think it looks sick.
Yeah, it does look good, man. It does look good.
Have you seen all the stuff that people have been saying online about the back of it?
What about? No, I haven't seen that.
Basically, the back of it is supposed to be shaped like a bat signal.
Oh, is it?
It's supposed to be shaped like a bat. Yeah. So people have done outlines of two. Well, I've only seen two different bat logos, but apparently the back of it is an outline.
Yeah, all right.
The bat logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't see that in the picture. Maybe someone
in the top in the image we've got in the top right picture. See if you can kind of make out a bat. Yeah,
kind of. I could see like some curves. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll send you the thing later. But I think anyway. That regardless of that, I think it looks like a dope.
Yeah, it does.
Batmobile. I'm kind of really excited to see this movie, to be honest.
Yeah, same here. Because it's supposed to be like not his first year, but his first couple of years, I think. So it kind of makes sense that he's got his own kind of working on his own stuff rather than being fully established and having it all his.
Yeah, it could easily be that he had a Mustang and just kitted it out.
Yeah, true.
This one's supposed to work on, or be based off of, from what I'm hearing, Long Halloween and Batman Year One, which are essentially apparently his first two years as Batman. I'm excited for this. I feel like this could probably save the DC, the DC movie franchise.
Yeah, I don't know if it would save it, but
it's got a lot of continuity shit to fix as well.
Yeah. But like I was saying before, like I said earlier in our podcast, they're better to kind of just do their like Elseworlds and not kind of connect everything up.
Not try and connect it,
Everything just.
To be honest, if they did Elseworlds and then built up to like basically do what the Arrowverse did, just have this eventually like a Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then they could have all the different movies kind of come together at one point.
Don't know. I think because they already did that because they did that. Did that in the TV series. I don't know if that will work in the movies now.
On a movie scale, it might work. You never know. Who knows? They've even connected the movies. I haven't watched it yet, but they connected the movies to the TV show as well.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
So hey, it's possible. Yeah. Well, you never know. We'll see. But anyway, I like the car. What's next?
It's dope. Keeping on the Batman subject. It's DC celebrates the 80th anniversary of Robin. Dick Grayson.
Robin, Way Wonder.
Yeah.
The original Robin.
Yeah.
He's very underrated.
Dick Grayson.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, Robin in general, people just have that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I think
that kind of fit. You're going.
No, yeah, you're right. They are. They kind of just kind of seem like he's psychic. But when you actually go deeper into who the Robins are,
they're a lot deeper than just being than his little kiddie psychic. Like I remember when I was at work a month or two ago, it came up. You know that whole thing about Batman and Robin being gay, and then that came up and they're like, "Oh, Robin's rubbish," and blah blah. I'm like, "Do you guys even?" I was like, "Do you guys read comic books?" They're like, "No." "Do you watch the movies?" "No." So you don't really know anything. It's just like
you're just talking crap.
It's pop culture nonsense that you're talking.
Yeah.
I was like, all the Robins grew up to be dope characters, and then they're rattled off, and they were like, "Wait a minute." There was more than one Robin. I was like, yeah, there was more than one Robin. They were like, "Wait a minute," and they all grew up to be different characters. I was like, yes. People don't recruit. He's a sick. I think he was a great addition to Batman, to the whole Batman mythos.
Yeah, definitely. It's. Was he the first psychic? I don't think so. Maybe not.
He might have been. I don't really think. When you think sidekick, you think Robin.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you think Robin and Bucky.
Well, not even Bucky. I don't think.
Not even Bucky.
No, I don't
think
Robin.
You think. Mostly DC characters, really. They're the ones who tend to have sidekicks.
Actually, it was. Well, this is coming from Wiki. Sidekicks. A sidekick is a slang expression for a close companion or colleague, not necessarily in fiction. Where did I see it? Comic books. Crimson Avengers sidekick Wing and Mr. America's sidekick Fat Man, both of whom debuted in the late 1930s. Other notable comic sidekicks include Ebony White, Jughead, Etta Candy, Captain Haddock, and Obelix. In 1940, DC...
Obelix from Asterix.
Yep, indeed. In 1940, DC introduced comics' first teenage sidekick, Robin the Boy Wonder, created to soften the dark tone of Batman comics and make the Dark Knight more attractive to younger readers. So yeah, it was.
I think that worked.
Yeah, it definitely worked.
And I think one thing I love about DC Comics is that with Robin, it kind of started the whole legacy thing.
Yes.
As in, not in this order, but then Wonder Woman had a sidekick, and then the Flash did, and Superman did, and then they grow up and become like, they start their own little team.
Yeah.
Then they grow up and become Nightwing, and they become, I don't know, Troyer, and you know what I mean? They change their names, and then another generation of, and there's another Robin, and then there's another Wonder Girl, and then there's another Superboy. I think it's sick. I love it.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Well,
shout out to Robin, man.
Yeah, big up, Robin.
Psychic.
It's been 80 years, and let's see if what do you reckon? How many different Robins do you think there'll be in another 80 years' time?
Oh man, they could keep going with that. Especially look at now. They aged Damian Wayne from 10 to, I think he's 13, 14 now.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and then they did that in Rebirth, where they aged him a bit, and that's when he started his Teen Titans group.
Right? Yeah. I thought recently after, because they aged up Jonathan Kent, didn't they?
No, just before they aged Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
It was just pretty much as they introduced Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
Damian was aged up a bit. He was aged a few years.
Yeah.
I think I've got the comic somewhere.
Right.
And but yeah, with Selena Kyle being pregnant, I don't know what's going on with that when she's pregnant.
Yeah, for real.
You know, that could be a new Robin. You know, who knows?
A new female Robin. I bet you it would be a girl.
Yeah, maybe it would just make. I think it would be a girl.
Yeah.
I feel like it would just make sense to be a girl.
Yeah.
Plus, there's that whole thing where they have that Helena.
Yeah.
Helena Wayne.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? I think Robin's dope. Robin's one of my favorite. That whole legacy of like Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, Tim Drake.
It would be a pointless question to ask you which one's your favorite.
Jason Todd. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
The Red Hood. I love Tim Drake and Dick Grayson. Like those two are sick. And Tim Drake, Robin, Dick Grayson was my Robin because obviously watching the Burt Ward Robin from Batman, the 60s Batman, and Dick Grayson being Robin in Batman the Animated Series. But growing up, Tim Drake was my Robin because he was the Robin in the comics at the time. Yeah. So technically, Tim Drake is my generation's Robin.
All right.
Sick.
I think Dick Grayson's my favourite one because that's the one that I know the best. I've only really started getting into and reading a bit, even though I've dropped off a bit. But recently, kind of started reading Red Hood. But I find Tim Drake the most interesting one. Tim Drake, really? He's the most interesting one for me because he's kind of like the smart one who's
he's the smartest out of the group. He's the one that's supposed to have excelled most in martial arts, the one who's excelled most in criminal science and all of that.
That's what I find more intriguing about him. But I just know Tim Drake better than all the others. So, and even Damien, I actually like Damien. A lot of people don't like him because of his attitude, but I think I like that little.
Damien grew on me a lot, to be honest. He took, but the way people kind of fell in love with him, I feel like but he's not the best.
No, he likes to think of himself to be the best. He's the best one.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he had a great introduction some years back when he first came into it in Batman. What was it called? Batman's Son or whatever. That was a sick comic.
I didn't read that actually.
That was a 6 storyline. Yeah. It's really good, man. Basically, Talia al Ghul shows up with this kid and claims it to be Batman's. Batman takes it. Basically, she gives him to Batman just to kind of so he can infiltrate him and figure out a way to take him down. But then he grows to want to stay with him. It's a sick comic, man. He beats up. Well, I would say he sucker punched Tim Drake, and then he ends up becoming Robin later. Yeah. It was a sick comic book.
He hates Tim Drake. Not Tim Drake. Dick Grayson, doesn't
he? He just has because he's like, I'm the true son. Because obviously Dick Grayson was the first, and he was the one that Batman took in. But he's I'm the real son. I'm the original son. Basically, he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder because Bruce took in all these other boys before him. Then there was Stephanie Brown, who was pretty dope at the time. She's what is she in the comics now?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, she used to be Batgirl back in the day for a spell as well.
Isn't she in that movie?
Stephanie Brown. No, I think it's Cassandra Cain. Yeah, who's also she's orphan right now in the comics, and she used to be Batgirl at a point as well. She was a sick Batgirl. I don't even want to talk about that movie.
Alright, let's move on to another movie then. This one is John Krasinski would love to play Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic.
Who is John Krasinski?
You don't know who that or whatever?
Is? Probably by face.
He stars and directed A Quiet Place. He was also in was it Community? I never watched the series, but was it he was Jack Ryan as well, and a TV series he was in, I think he was in was it Community? It's probably not.
He was in that show. I think he was in that show where he was
Arrested Development.
Yeah, I never watched that. I know his face. He was in The Office, The Americans, The Office. It's something specific that I'm thinking of. I'm seeing if it's here. And we go, blah, 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 blah. But I know who this guy is.
So basically, he had an interview because he's promoting A Quiet Place 2. He's written and directed it, the first one as well. And basically comicbook.com's one of their guys was asking him some decent questions. In the interview he basically said, so I'm sorry in advance, I know you can't answer if you're going to play Mr. Fantastic, but you have to play Mr. Fantastic, right? And Krasinski said, oh my god, that's the best answer ever. And He said, "I would love to do it. I think to be part of Marvel would the Marvel world would be amazing anyway, and the fact that people would even consider me for the level of a part would be amazing. I genuinely have had no conversations with or don't know anything about that. I genuinely have had no conversations or don't know anything that's happening with that. I'm awaiting Kevin's announcement of what the hell's happening with that as much as you are." Yeah, he also said, "Oh yeah, the Fantastic Four. I would." In another interview, he said, "Oh yeah, the Fantastic Four. I would love that. I mean, listen, I'm still getting into the whole superhero thing. I didn't read comics as a kid, not as many. I read some, but not as much. But I'm a huge superhero fan, so yeah, I'd love to do something like that. If there are any left, a lot of these have been taken by, but the ones that are left, yeah, I would love to do something like that." But yeah, I think he looks the part, and his wife also looks the part to play Sue Storm, who's Emily Blunt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about this guy as an actor, but I could definitely see him as a Reed Richards, definitely. And yeah, Emily Blunt could be Sue Richards. Why
and
not?
they've even started to draw Reed Richards a bit like him as well in the comics.
Oh, is that what they were going on? Was that what they were going for? That's jokes.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens.
Why not? That'd be cool. And yeah, Emily Blunt as Sue. Just looking at Emily Blunt. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Could work.
Yeah, why not? I think that'd be pretty sick. Yeah, go for it. Kevin Feige, just give him the job. And look, to be honest, this is taking a while now. I just want to know what's going on with X-Men, what's going on with Fantastic Four. Just give us something. Because they know they've obviously got access to all these other characters, and they're like, we want to use these other characters, but like, come on, give us what we want. Just put them there.
Exactly. All right.
We'll
Winston Duke has an idea for who should be the villain in Black Panther 2.
Yeah, I heard about this. Who was his idea? Who was his
character, obviously.
M'Baku. Do you know what? I suppose it works in the sense that, and for those of you that don't know, for those that don't read comics, he was originally called the Ape Man.
Yeah.
Ape Man in the comic books, which is fucking racist, but whatever.
Yeah.
He was called the Ape Man, and his tribe and the Panther tribe, or whatever they were called, they don't get on. And M'Baku feels like his tribe should be the one to rule over Wakanda, over T'Challa and T'Chaka's tribe. But they kind of hinted at that in the Black Panther movie. But obviously now, since then, and Endgame and Infinity War, they're calling each other brother. I think it would be upsetting for movie fans if like they go in the direction of all of a sudden they're not friends again, and it would just look like more internal conflict like the first movie. I think, in the first movie it was like Killmonger comes and then he gets Wakandans to fight Wakandans. I don't really want to see a second movie of Wakandans fighting Wakandans again. I think it looked bad as well.
He said, basically he quoted, well, I'll read what he said here. M'Baku is a hero, but he has so much going on. I think what makes a really great villain is that they have the power of seeing things their own way, and they can define their own circumstances. So yeah, pretty much like you're saying, I don't really want to see that, to be honest.
No, it's been done, and I don't want to see it. I think they should find someone else. I think they should. Fans have been speculating about the whole Namor thing. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, Namor.
Dope introduction.
I was actually thinking Doctor Doom, but I think Namor would be better. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I just like the idea of like, they won't do this in the movies, but I would have loved to have seen the Amazons go against Atlantis in the DC movies. I think that would have been sick.
Yeah.
But something like that where we're seeing.
What comic was that?
Flashpoint. They did it in Flashpoint, where Wonder Woman and Aquaman, they're at war with each other, which was sick. And it's such a sick concept. Yeah. But I was just thinking something similar with like the Wakandans and the Atlanteans. That could work. Do you know what I mean? I think that could work pretty well. And it would be a cool way to introduce Namor. And it could easily be that T'Challa's always known about Namor. Do you know what I mean? He was just like, I don't know, in terms of like royalty, that the Wakandans could have just known about them. He's seen Namor as a kid. He's like, oh, that pompous prince that he'd have to go visit when his dad would drag him to Atlantis.
Because they're both like secret cities as well that they don't want people to know about.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they could easily do that. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That could be the rivalry, like Namor's like kind of being like, why are you why did you expose yourself? Why did you expose your country to these people? These
exposing you exposes us, and we don't want to be exposed. I think that'd be sick, but we'll see. I'm not down for that whole M'Baku being a villain. I think they had their chance with that during the first movie. They took it in a different direction. Took it in a different direction, so I don't think there's a need for it. But we'll see. We've got 2 years until that movie comes out.
2-3 years. We'll see what happens, man. This Corona thing is halting everything. So
hopefully that won't. We'll be done with that by summertime, hopefully.
Doubt it though. But what it isn't holding up is Westworld season 3, which is back this weekend. Was you watching?
I was never watching Westworld. I think you guys were talking about it as in the Dreamers, someone in the Dreamers. I think Isha spoke about it before. Excuse me if I'm wrong there.
I'm sure she was.
I've only seen like trailers and heard of it. I know it to be a talked about good show.
It is dope.
But I myself have never watched it. It is dope.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing where they take it now, because they're no longer in the world or the game or the place where they.
Was it the thing with the robot cowboy?
Yeah.
Place. Yeah. I watched a couple episodes of that. Actually, it was actually pretty good. What I watched. Season 1, that was ages ago, like season 1. So we're in season 3 now, which is crazy.
It took 2 years before between season 3 and season 2. Yeah.
Really?
So
wow.
We'll see.
That's to me because I'm not paying attention. It just seems like it comes out and then it goes away, and like as a normal show. So I'm not paying attention. Now I didn't even notice that 2 years. It just, to me, it's like season 3 is out and it's just been going smoothly. Like it's.
I think we've been spoiled as well. It did go pretty fast for me, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's so many things on TV now. We're burning through Altered Carbon season 2 at the moment, so I think we've got 2 episodes left. But yeah, the missus doesn't watch Westworld, so luckily I can watch it at my own pace and burn through it.
You can just burn through it. Yeah.
So
fair enough. For all you Altered Carbons, for all you Westworld fans,
it's on HBO on Sunday, March 15th at 9 p.m. And then if you're in the UK, I think it's on Sky Atlantic at 9. I
think it is on Sky Atlantic.
I'm not sure if it probably will, but normally back in the days when I had it was coming on at 3 a.m. in the morning, but then it will come on on 9 p.m. that Monday evening. So.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that.
Go watch that, folks. Get your Westworld
on. Exactly. But one bad news actually is James Bond, No Time to Kill. Unfortunately, that's been postponed for 7 months.
7 months, jeez. Have they given a reason why?
They did mention some things, but not really anything. So on their
wasn't creative differences, was it?
On their Twitter, they said MGM, Universal, and Bond producers Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli announced today that after careful consideration and thorough evaluation of the global theatrical marketplace, the release of No Time to Die will be postponed until November 2020. Then they sent another one saying the film will be released in the UK on November 12th, 2020, with worldwide release dates to follow, including the US launch on November 25th. I mean, there's a lot of chatter on the interwebs. A lot of haters. Oh man, there's so many people hating so many things nowadays. I'm starting to get sick of it. But basically, there's people saying that they wanted to postpone because they know it's going to be crap, and there's a lot of people that are peed off because there's I actually forgot her name. I shouldn't have forgotten her name, but the new female, the black girl, she is a designated. Apparently, she's a designated 00 because Bond's retired yet again, so she's taking up his 00 status, and a lot of people were peed off about that. A lot of people were peed off thinking that obviously this is Daniel Craig's last Bond film. And people were assuming that the next Bond will probably be a girl or black or whatever. So there's
that's just expected.
But I think
it's
possibly obviously with the coronavirus going on at the moment, the market's obviously not right for it. A lot of like Italy's been what's the word?
Shut down,
locked off, and probably other cities will follow suit. That will definitely hinder it. They could probably have released it in the summer, but what I personally think, the story possibly has something to do with a virus being released to the world, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, what was it? What, a virus, did you say?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, wow.
So it's a bit
maybe,
sensitive.
Yeah, maybe it's some rewrites.
I don't even think it's a rewrite. I don't think they'll rewrite it, but I think they'll just release it at a later date where it's not so central in the news, you know?
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. I think there's people who obviously we don't know the reason, they're not giving us one, but people that just assume that it's because it's going to be crap because they've got a black female. Get over yourselves, man.
Yeah.
Get over yourselves. This could be easily the best Bond movie, and I'm not being biased. I'm just saying you don't know, you've not seen it.
Yeah.
And they've not given a reason as to why it's been postponed. Just movies get postponed all the time. Do you know what I mean?
This is a big this is like a big jump. 7 months is a long time, man.
7 months is a long time, though. Yeah, no, I'm not denying that, but it's just people in their my laptop. People in their speculations, they get on my nerves as well, and everyone's got a bloody opinion.
Yeah.
Oh well. We'll see what it is.
So I'm looking forward to it. That's a film I would love to see in the cinema.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, actually. Definitely.
Yeah.
James Bond is
something that we also are looking forward to seeing, which is bloody taken a long time to actually come out, but apparently there's good reasons. What's that?
Has it been 3 years? Longer?
How long has it been? Probably.
I think it's been longer than 3 years, actually.
Damn, has it? 2015.
You know, yeah, that's a while, man.
Yeah, that's like, sheesh.
5 years, man.
Yeah. So
it's been that long, this whole Free Jokers thing.
Yep. So
that's insane.
Yeah, Batman Free Jokers issue 1 finally gets a release date.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, so basically Free Jokers is coming out on June 17th. So who was this that wrote that? Who's this? I think this was DC. They said, after years of anticipation, the epic story is finally here. Find out why there are 3 Jokers and what that means for the decades-long battle between the Dark Knight and the Clown Prince of Crime. In this powerful, emotional story, Batman, Batgirl and Red Hood, all past victims of the Joker, work together to solve a mystery unlike any they've ever faced before. So yeah, it's over 4 years in the making. Jeff Johns and Fabuk, what's his full name? Jason Fabuk and Jeff Johns. Basically, in issue 42 of Justice League, Batman used the Mobius chair to ask a question, and it was who really killed his parents and what was the Joker's real name. The chair actually said well, it wasn't until 8 months later that we found out what the chair said. And basically said there's three Jokers.
Revelations at the time, boy.
So for Book, he said on Twitter, I see fans on Twitter and I know they're getting impatient. They want this book to come out. Jeff Johns and I have come to realise that everything will happen within its time. Because it's taken so long, we've actually made this story better. Everything's come together, so naturally we're so pumped up and so confident. So basically, also what you said that I read somewhere else was that they basically postponed it because they wanted to finish it off first. They wanted to make sure it's done, so there's no delays like there was with Doomsday Clock and other comics. So it's definitely done, and once June 17th come out and they're scheduled for the book, that is definitely coming out on those days.
Okay, sweet. I can't wait for this book, man. I honestly can't. It's a shame. I mean, because they're doing it on the DC Black label, whereas if it's DC Black label, that means it's not canon.
I don't care, man. I don't care. I just want to know. I don't know. It could be canon. I think they'll make. If it's good enough, they're gonna do the what they did with Killing Joke.
I think what they did with the Killing
Joke. If it's that good, then they will definitely make it canon.
Yeah. I just think they won't want there to be free, because to be honest, when I first heard that there were free Jokers, I actually didn't like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Do you know what I mean? But
me neither.
I wanted to know why, but I didn't like the idea of it. And so if it's not canon, I'd probably be even if it's a dope story, I'd be happier if it's not canon. Do you know what I mean? This is why.
Did you read? Was it Rebirth or which one was it where the Joker and Batman both died, but they came back with the what's that? What is it called? The thing that resurrected Jason Todd. The Lazarus Pit.
Oh, the Lazarus Pit. Where so Joker did what with it, sorry?
I need to research this because the Joker had died, and they found like old pictures of the Joker like from back in the days, and then Joker died, or Batman was fighting the Joker, and it was basically explained that the Joker is old, but he's been using the Lazarus Pit every now and again, and I think it was near the Batcave or something. But he was using the Lazarus Pit to replenish himself all the time.
I think I remember that. I can't remember what book it was though.
Remember.
I'm not even sure if I was reading it, but I remember it. If that makes sense. And I remember there was some talk of the Joker, like, oh, what if he's like supernatural because he always dies, or he's always in these situations where it looks like he dies and then he just comes back. And I was saying I can't wait for this story. I've been waiting ages for it. And DC Black Label, everything that I've read so far and what they're doing, it's just been sick. It really is.
Okay. Cool. Next thing, Seattle's Emerald City Comic Con has been postponed due to the coronavirus. I couldn't have gone anyway, but yeah, it's a lot of things are getting cancelled now.
I mean, it's flights. People are not going to work. It's crazy. This whole thing is. That's a shame about Comic-Con. It makes me wonder what's going to happen when it's Comic-Con over here. New York, San Diego and New York Comic-Con, which are like the two biggest ones where we get the best information. It's a real shame. It's a real shame, man. This bloody thing. People don't help. People are gross. All the videos that are going around on things that people do, and I'm like, why weren't you people washing your hands and cleaning yourselves before? Why did it take off a worldwide pandemic for you to want to start washing your hands? So nasty.
So South by Southwest, that may be cancelled as well, I think. E3 was cancelled, I think I saw. Yeah.
E3 was cancelled?
I think they're cancelling that.
Whoa.
St. Patrick's Day parade, possibly.
Wow.
Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Coachella, that's been possibly cancelled as well.
It's basically all of these big concerts that they have been postponed or cancelled.
Crazy.
That is insane.
Crazy.
It's serious.
So, man, this it's crazy times at the moment, man. Crazy times. Crazy times.
It is. The virus is getting around, man. Countries are being locked off. Cruise ships are being held outside of other countries. Comic-Con is not. It's not happening. They will start shutting like all movies that were probably waiting for that are being filmed. They'll postpone those.
Well, yeah, I heard that they've even postponed Falcon and Winter Soldier. Actually, yeah, they were supposed to film. I can't remember where. Yeah,
that's insane.
Let me have a quick look.
Wow.
It was somewhere in Europe. They're supposed to shoot.
Italy by any chance?
That's an old one. No, it was somewhere in Europe. I can't remember where. Let me quickly find it. In Prague.
Okay.
It was in Prague.
I had not heard anything about it.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I've not heard any of that. But still, this is what I'm saying. It's not just going to be like Comic-Cons and like gaming events and comic book events. It's going to be movies and TV shows that we're looking for that will all get either shut down or postponed. That's insane, man. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Real crazy. I hope this gets cleared up soon, man. I really do. Really, really do.
Probably won't, but let's hope. We can always hope.
Yeah. Well,
Neil Gaiman is to narrate the Sandman audio drama for Amazon.
So what's he? Yeah. So what's he doing with that? Is it
so basically
like an audio book?
It will be an audio drama book. DC's The Sandman will be adapted in a multi-part audio drama for Amazon's Audible. The series will be narrated and executively produced by Sandman co-curator Neil Gaiman. Dirk Maggs is writing the adaptation and directing it. So Neil Gaiman said almost 30 years ago, Dirk Maggs approached DC about adapting The Sandman into audio form. I'm glad it didn't happen because we are in a golden age of audio drama right now, and Dirk and I are much better at what we are doing. This is a rich audio adaptation of the Sandman graphic novel, brilliantly crafted by Dirk Maggs with an all-star cast. So yeah.
Okay. That's pretty dope. Have you read Sandman?
I haven't read it yet. I know it's.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't read it? I thought you read it, man.
No, it's one of those ones where like I've got the graphic novel like just there on my shelf, volume 1. I've just not touched it. I remember my brother Antoine was
every time I think of
he's just been saying
Sandman, I think of him. You know, he's like
because he always goes on about it, and I'm like, I feel as a comic book fan, I feel certain books you should have read.
Should have read that.
Yeah. I should have read it by now.
Yeah, man.
But I'll get to it. But it's dope that Neil Gaiman's actually gonna do the narration for it as well.
Yeah, that's good. I like when the creators are involved in it.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Who better to narrate the story than the creator of it? So I think that's sick. He will know how to deliver the lines, how each character would say this, and what that person. I think he'll be sick to do it. I'd love to listen to that actually.
Alright, that's the comic news for now. Let's get on to the reviews. Did you have any reviews this week?
I binge read Batman Curse of the White Knight. I read book 5, book 6, and book 7. And I'm not going to go heavily deep into these, but again, I will sit.
Okay.
Yeah. And 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, 5, 6, and 7. People should be reading this. I don't feel like the comic book community is talking about Curse of the White Knight, and you should.
It's one on my list. So I should be reading at the moment.
I don't even want to spoil it for you. Like you just find out things about because this. They went into it a little bit in the last series, but in this series they're going heavily into the Wayne, the Wayne history, and just the secrets that come out a sequence that come out, you're like, ooh, like it just. And there was something that the Joker knew. So Batman and Harley Quinn go to see the Joker to see if they can get Jack Napier to come out and get the information from him. And Harley gets to speak to Jack Napier when Batman isn't there, and he gives some information. It's like, oh, there's also something else. There's like this painting on the wall in blood. I'm not gonna tell you what it says, but it's like it changes everything for Batman. Like whatever you think of Bruce Wayne, the Waynes, and Batman, that one thing written on the wall changes everything. Wow. It's so sick. And in one of them, there was a nice little hint because all the Batmobiles have been destroyed. Like this is just something that happened that I thought was cool. All the Batmobiles have been destroyed, and there's one left. And I was thinking, oh, which one is it going to be? And he goes, and it's the one from 1989 movie. And he says, I always like this one. And then Montoya's like, this one's decades old, and the Joker's got all this kind of technology. Azrael's got all this kind of modern technology, and this one's decades old. And she's like, "What, you nuts?" And he gets behind the wheel and he's like, "Let's get nuts," which is like a nod to the the '89 movie. That's the other thing I love about Sean Murphy's writing. He's clearly a fan of like old school Batman. It's like he's got everything old school from Batman and put it in this. Even Gotham Nightfall, where Bane breaks Batman's back and then Azrael becomes Batman for a bit. There's little nods to that because Azrael and Bane have a fight. Bane's about to break Azrael's back and then he doesn't do it. The fight ends for Azrael's favor, but then Azrael ends up wearing similar Batman outfit that he wore in Nightfall. It's sick. There's so much going on, and Azrael's history is exposed in this a bit as well. And you're like, it's like Azrael's fighting to be the hero of the city to take over Batman, and you might think maybe it's a bit warranted when you have to read it. But it's really good. I definitely recommend this book. I think there's about 3 more to collect, and I know this is going to stick the landing. Sean Murphy is just sick with what he does. I can't wait for the new ones he's going to release. We spoke about last week as well.
Yeah, I need to catch up on that. I need to read that, man. Definitely. Get on it. Sick. What I read this week was Doctor Doom issue 6. Man, this was sick. This was one of the best Doctor Doom / Kang stories I've ever read. I'm gonna go through it with you. So spoilers, yeah. So basically, what's happened is there's basically a city on the moon that they're trying to solve, like what's the crisis? The climate change crisis, yeah. And basically, the missiles was shot to that city on the moon, and it came from Latveria. So 3,000 people died. So Doom is obviously the suspect. He went into hiding. He came back and found out that it's probably someone else. So he came back and then run off again. So, and during this time, while he's on the run, you got Blue Marvel trying to look for him, Sable and Victorious, who's his second in command, who's Doom's second in command. So they're all trying to get Doom for different reasons, but he's pretty much in hiding. And during this time, Doom is basically he's starting to get visions of a future of himself with a family and a kid as well, and a wife named Fruzina. And while this is happening, he keeps Kang the Conqueror. He keeps like popping into the present, and he's like he's talking to Doom. He's like, "Oh, you got to do this." Like, you got to do this. Oh, what's going on? Because every time Kang pops in, it's like years in the future for Kang, but it's like a few days or a few weeks for Doom. So every time he pops in, he's kind of like readjusting, like, this again. Oh yeah. So blah blah blah. So in this issue now, Kang and Doom, they're kind of on the rung, and they're on the train, just sitting in one of the trains, and Doom's like, talk about no, sorry, Kang's like, are we going to talk about it? And Doom's like, talk about what? He's like, you know what? He's like, I don't, Kang, enlighten me. And he's like, our blood relation. So if you don't know, there's speculation, and one thing that's good with Kang the Conqueror is that you don't really know who he is. So there's speculations that he is not sure what that was. Sorry.
That was weird. When they talks,
did you hear that?
I heard like it was a weird little kind of skittery.
Yeah.
Like a static noise. Yeah.
So anyway, so Kang, we don't know whether Kang is actually related to Reed Richards, or if he's actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say when there talks of him being related to Tony Stark as well.
Yeah, Tony Stark, or even Doctor Doom as well. So that's what this conversation is pretty much about. He's like, so he's like, our blood relation. Doom's like, I don't see the point. He says, to cure boredom, we're still 2 days away from our waypoint. And basically, Doom's like, it must be. Sorry, what does he say? So he's like, I've been waiting for you to blink out of existence at any moment, because he's always blinking in and out, and he's kind of like, you never know how long he's going to be there. So they're talking about the expansion, because basically what's happened on this place on the moon, Attilon, there's a black hole there, so they're trying to figure out how to destroy the black hole and save the world, basically, because the black hole is just going to expand and expand. And while the train's coming, you can see like two old guys on like on one of these ledges that are trying to jump onto the bridge, onto the train. So Doom and Kang is talking, and then the door opens, and the guy's like, greetings gents, name's Tom, mightn't I share this car with you for the evening? And you just see them both look at him like, oh, come on man. And he flies off. So later on that day, Doom and Kang, they're by a fire cooking up something, and Doom's like, sorry, I just got to fix this a second. Doom's like, I've heard rumours that you're Reed Richards' father, and Kang's like, I've heard that too, but he looks nothing like me. And then Doom's like, neither do I. But this is like later on in the day, so it seems like these two are kind of having 2-word conversations every 2 hours or something like that, or 5 hours. So Doom's like, neither do I, and Kang's like, neither do you what? It's like, I too look nothing like you. He's like, oh. Then they have like, he says, I'm not your father. And Doom's like, I know you're not. Perhaps I'm yours. And Kang's like, preposterous. Doom begat Kang, who begat Nathaniel, who begat Reed. Bah. Doom begat Costin and Duru. Who? Onward. So Duru and Kostu are Doom's children that I don't really know too much about. I've tried to research that, but there's...
Yeah, I didn't know Dr. Doom had any
kids. There's a kid that... who was the last person that was writing Doom? I'm sure it was Dan Slott. He was writing Doom. I think so. Dan
Slott, yeah.
And he had a child, basically. And nothing's happened since then.
I didn't know none of that.
So basically, what's so funny about this is just their conversations and what they're having. I'm not telling it right. I'm actually telling it pretty crappily. But the way these two, because they're in different situations all the time, and when they because they got to get somewhere, they got to get to a place and wait for someone. They got to wait for a MacGuffin, basically. And during their journey, they're just talking about stuff, like, it's very interesting stuff as well, like, and just the attitude between them as well, because obviously Doom is like speaks to himself in the third person, and his attitude, and same with Kang as well. They kind of got the similar attitude. So the dialogue in this is just sick.
You can imagine, because both of them both think or both believe that they're better than the other. So that kind of conversation with two people who think that they're better than the second person, that must be sick writing, actually, and make for sick dialogue.
And then during this as well, you actually get like two C-class villains trying to assassinate them, basically. And you're like, what are these two doing there, kind of thing. But actually, something really funny happens between that as well. Then basically, the guy with the MacGuffin comes, and when you see what the MacGuffin is, you're like, oh shizzle, this just got serious.
Okay.
And yeah, it's one you gotta read, man. I've stopped because I can't really, I can't explain it. I can't go into it. I'm not giving it any justice. So
I didn't realize there were already 8 issues into this, man. I thought it was
6 issues.
Less than that, to be honest.
6 issues. Yeah.
Oh, is it 6 issues? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Okay. And it even ends pretty well as well. Like, yeah, it ends with a phone call to Reed Richards. And yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, definitely pick this up if you can. Doctor Doom issue 6.
Yeah. Sick, man. Sick. Go out and get you a copy of issue 6 of Doctor Doom.
Yes, sir.
And what's next?
Comics pull list. Last section of our show. Okay, so number 1 on the pull list. I'm sorry again, but X-Men issue 8 is a must get for me.
Yeah, I think obviously I'm going to get it, but I think I'm still behind 2 issues on X-Men. I think I'll probably read those tomorrow, to be honest. I'll binge them the way I did Batman today, and probably review them next week. But yeah, I'm still loving this X-Men storyline.
It's sick.
This whole
the mutants are back from space. The new mutants are back from space, and they've brought intergalactic trouble with them. The Brood, the Shi'ar, the Starjammers, and the Imperial Guard. So I mean, the New Mutants has been okay. It's not been too bad. But now they're back on Earth, and it's happening in the X-Men comics and not New Mutants comics. That should be interesting, because obviously this should have an impact on what's going on in the main story that Jonathan Hickman's doing. Together with that, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, with those group of people, the Brood, Shi'ar, Starjammers, and Imperial Guard, it sounds like it's going to be a very political issue to read.
Definitely.
But I think that's going to be fun read, to be honest.
The second book, New Mutants, a nightmare becomes real. With Krakoan confidence, the youth of the mutant kind are ready to take on any challenge the world has to throw at them. But when reality itself betrays them, what hope is there for the New Mutants? This again is done by Jonathan Hickman. And the artist Michael Del Mondo, he's one of my favourite artists at the moment.
Yeah, Del Mundo's pretty sick.
Definitely.
He's pretty sick. Okay. You're collecting New Mutants, right? Okay, yeah. I think that's already, well, not the only, but there are X-Men comic books that I'm just not reading. I don't have the patience for them.
Couple.
Go out and get you.
There is a couple, man. It's a bit disappointing.
Yeah. I think I'll just start with X-Men and what was it? Marauders, New Mutants, X, was it?
New Mutants, X-Force.
X-Force, that's it. Yeah. I've got a couple of issues of X-Force as well. But that's it, man.
We'll see. I just don't want to miss anything. Basically, I don't want to miss anything that.
Yeah. I know that keeps happening. Like, I'll be reading an issue and I'm like, okay, this obviously took place in whatever issue that X-Men comic that I haven't read, which is fine. I'll just paste it together. Or you can always go on YouTube and find someone who's covering
catch up,
and then that helps you piece it. Basically, you piece it together. Can't afford it all. Speaking
of too much, Thor issue 4. Thor's greatest enemy and the universe's only savior revealed. The Black Winter is coming, the end of the entire vast universe, and only one entire entity can stop it. The only one who has survived it before, Galactus, the World Eater, has come to Midgard in search of a herald for the end of everything.
Huh. Have I missed an issue?
It sounds like...
what happened with Lady
I think
Sif?
this one should be the continuation of the Lady Sif and Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill. For a split second, I thought I missed one. I was like, wait, there's nothing on there about Lady Sif.
This sounds like it's actually the first issue. Yeah.
Wrong one. It does actually, yeah, it does sound like the first issue. I'm thinking, does he... Yeah, oh well.
Alright.
Well, regardless of that synopsis, everyone, the latest Thor book is really good. He's currently fighting Beta Ray Bill, and Lady Sif is showing up.
Madness.
Who looks like she's going to take Beta Ray Bill's side. Thor is now a herald of Galactus. Definitely a good read. Definitely recommend going out and getting that one.
Do you want to do Flash, issue number 751?
Yeah, so we got Flash, issue 751. The Flash battles Godspeed as Flash Age continues. In this issue, Paradox enlists Godspeed in his mission to erase the Flash legacy from existence. But when Godspeed's allegiance comes into question, Paradox proves he may be the strongest foe Barry has ever faced. I haven't read Flash in a while, to be honest, but I think I actually might read 750 and just go from there, because I cannot be bothered to go. I've got them there, but I don't have the patience to figure out where I left off.
That's kind of the same with me and Amazing Spider-Man. I'm so behind, but I'm determined to catch up.
Yeah,
I am determined to catch up.
Yeah, it's too many for me to do. I'm honestly, and 750 itself, that's like a really fat issue. So I'm like, I'm just gonna start from there and carry on. They're everywhere as well. So, but Flash is dope. It's really dope shit with Flash. So go out, get you your issue of Flash 751.
Alright, and the final one for tonight.
We've got Young Justice. Again, another one I'm behind on, but if you are reading Young Justice, Brian Michael Bendis is killing it. He really is. So this is Young Justice issue 14. Now that Young Justice has figured out who the bad guys are, it's time to bring the fight to Star Labs' front door. But the combined forces of Dial H for Hero, the Wonder Twins, Naomi, and the entire Young Justice roster may not be enough to defeat these evil scientists. It's time to call in some superpowered backup. New Young Justice, plus how will Superman revealing his secret identity affect Connor Kent? Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, repercussions for the Superman family. I need to catch up with that as well. Man, so many. It's probably like 3 or 4. I can easily read.
I haven't been reading it, so you're my Young Justice guy.
It's really good. Yeah, no, it's a really good one. I was so happy that they brought it back. So I don't want to not support it. It's a sick comic. The sick characters as well. So is that it? Is our pull list, everybody? Go out and
that
get
is
some
our
comics.
issue 79. Do you know what?
We are done, everybody.
59 minutes and 8 seconds. Yes.
Really? Oh damn, Isha, we needed you to like fatten it out.
Definitely.
Third opinion.
So yeah, thanks for joining us, guys and gals. Issue 79 of the Source Wall. If you missed us, don't worry. We are here every Wednesday around 7:30ish. Well, we try to be anyway. If you can't watch us on Twitch live, then you can catch us. We try to upload it on Thursday on YouTube, and then we do little bites as well throughout the week and the weekend. But if you can't see us there, you can catch us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, anywhere you can find podcasts, basically.
At the Source Wall for everything. And if you want our personal Instagrams, it is at the Outlaw Red Hood on Instagram and at We Read Comics 2 on Insta. Follow us and tell them about the shop where they can
buy
go buy
some merch
some
from
merch.
teespring.com/stores/the Source Wall. So yeah.
Get you some t-shirts, get you some mugs, get you a vest and a hoodie and a hat. And I got everything. Whatever, man. Go support. And thank you for joining us. And everybody, please, 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 don't forget to bring a sandwich.
Live long and prosper.
Peace out, everyone.